I guarantee these 5 fighting tips will improve your Fortnite skill, winning you your first solo cash cup. I saved the tip that helped Peterbot to win FNCS for last, so stay tuned. First tip, pre-boxing. Pre-boxing, if done right, lets you always be one step ahead in a fight, and let me explain. Let's say you see your opponent running to the left of their box. Instead of waiting until they edit and shoot, risking a trade with damage, try putting a box on the left side like this, with a cone in the middle, to block them off with full control. Now finish the fight with a window or a peanut butter edit, and making sure to get a right hand peek is always very important. Okay, you may be thinking, what do I do if my opponent doesn't try exiting his box and just stays there? Here's what you can do. You can force them out by placing a ramp in their box. If you want to force them to the left side, place a ramp facing the left like this. Or if you want to force them to the right side, place a ramp like this. If given the choice, forcing them to the right side is more beneficial, giving you an easier right hand peek, but both sides do work. Okay, this second tip is how I personally gained crazy improvement in my gameplay, and that is always blaming myself. The more and more I blame my teammates, the more and more I realize it did more harm than good. The reason why this is harmful for your gameplay is when you put fault on someone else, you're essentially saying, the mistake was not your fault, therefore there's no way you can improve upon it. Instead, tell yourself, how could have I played that fight differently, or how could have I beat that 2v1? Looking back at your game and pointing out the mistakes that were made are crucial to game development. Which leads me to my third tip, VOD viewing. In case you're unfamiliar with VOD viewing, it's looking back on replays and trying to spot mistakes. Now I understand this can be overwhelming. There are probably hundreds of little things that could be improved on. But let me break it down for you. The first step is asking yourself, what do I need to focus on to improve? If your answer is aim, then skip to a part in your replay where you're shooting and see what could be changed for a better outcome. Or let's say you want to improve your piece control in fights, then skip to a part in the replay where you're in a build fight. Now slow down the replay and look for spots in that build fight where you can apply piece control in your next fight. And this constant VOD reviewing will make every game mistakes hardly happen ever again. Trust me, people often overlook VOD reviewing, but I promise you'll never regret doing it. My fourth tip is to be consistent. And I get that's a very broad statement, but hear me out. I don't just mean have a consistent aim or consistent edits, although that will help. But be consistent in the game in general. Just like anything, to get good at something, you need to put in the time and effort. The truth is, if you log on for 20 minutes a day to crank a couple 90s with no real game plan, you won't go anywhere. But if you take maybe an hour a day with a plan, for an example, this day train aim, next day edits, next day piece control, etc., then growth is guaranteed. Now your skills are better. That means you can win your cash cup now, right? Well, not so fast. You can't expect to go into a cash cup tournament with zero tournament experience and expect to win. Therefore, I highly recommend playing every single tournament that I've published, no matter what it is for. This will greatly improve your tournament IQ, and when the cash cup finally comes around, you won't be going into it blindly. Now finally, for the tip that helped Peterbot win FNCS was having mental toughness and focus. And perhaps one of the most underrated aspects of Peterbot's success in FNCS was his mental resilience. Throughout the tournament, he showed consistency and the ability to stay calm under pressure. In a high-stakes event like FNCS, having the confidence to execute strategies and not let mistakes or pressure get to you is vital. A tip to go along with this is to try and never tense up in high-stress situations. For consistent aim, you need to stay relaxed or you'll slip up and miss your shots. Please subscribe with notifications and check out my channel for in-depth detail on piece control. I hope this helped and good luck with everyone's cash cups.